Right, okay, hello everyone. Sharing another technique related to the Bigfoot here. You can see that I'm not going to get anywhere near the green. So the first thing to do, which I've covered before, it's no great secret, is to get to Bigfoot range. So pull back to Bigfoot, medium distance. Use the length of your screen to measure. And then just look where I need to be on the left of the screen there. So just in line with that sort of hump just there. So that's the first thing to do. The second part of this video is what I'm wanting to show you. Not really the drive, it's the second part. So the first thing to do is just get to Bigfoot range. So that should leave us nicely in the middle. Let's take a look. So there's maximum distance and there's minimum distance, so that's quite nicely in the middle. So the first thing I want to do is count the rings between maximum and minimum. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to use the grid line on my screen to count these rings. You can just count them sort of with your finger or whatever, but that's minimum club. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe there's a bit more minimum than this, depending on, you know, what short iron you've got picked. But that's 10 rings there, up to there, and then around about 15 rings. So then if I count back to the position that I want, that's 5, 6, 7, about 7.5. So that means the position that I'm looking for, and the position that I always look for, is the position of the hole there. And in tailwind, I'll always put it just after the second ring. So in headwind, I'll put it there at 1.6, crosswind 1.9, and headwind about 1.2 for around, tailwind about 1.2. So 7.5 rings is exactly half of 15 rings. So what I'm going to do is use my medium numbers, which is 1.9. So I'm going to divide 3.7. Just got a little calculator next to me. 3.7 divided by 1.9 gives me 1.947 rings. So the next thing to do is, what I always do is apply maximum backspin first and then check out the shape of this ball guide, you know, and I want it to look like it's going to land in the middle. If it's going to be short, I'll apply less backspin, but always try to get the shot looking the same, and I think that's just about right with maximum backspin. Usually you don't need maximum backspin. So we've got the backspin set, we've got the ring value, which is 1.947. The next thing I'm going to do is just have a little recce around the hole and just see if, you know, the ball guide sort of shoots off in any different way. You can see it's reasonably consistent because that's where it's going to be bouncing. And if, you know, the ball guide was to sort of shoot off to the left when I move it up here, then that would suggest that I've got a right to left slope. But I'm just taking a look and taking my time. I'm going to move back to the position that I scoped out before. which is round about there. Then the next thing I'm doing, I'm just going to turn the grid lines off a second, just so it's a bit better for the video. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving left and right and just looking at this. So just move left and right, and when it's totally lined up like that, you see there, I can see that it's sort of I can just see the end of it. But then if I just move slightly there I can see that it's totally lined up, and I'm just to the right of the pin, which is exactly where I want to be, bearing in mind the direction of the wind, because the direction of the wind is slightly right to left, so it's going to just slightly push it over just to the left, the sort of shape of the flight. So we've got the position that we want right there. I'm going to move the 1.947 rings, so I'm just going to flick the grid on. Show grid continuously. There we go. Just using the voice control on the iPad to give you a grid. Those of you who say it's cheating, it's not. It's just a switch on any device. So 1.947. I'm going to move to the middle of that grid line, and let's see how close we are with that. Hide grid. Concentrate and try and get the ultimate shot. You see, that's really close. So I'm still not at that level where I can drop these consistently. Maybe my numbers are just slightly off. You see that needed maybe about 0.1 more, 0.2 more, because it did finish just left and just long, you know. But I'm getting to sort of 890, 895, 900 on that kind of shot, or dropping them. I'm dropping quite a lot of shots, not 100% dialed yet, but just sharing the techniques that I've found, because I see time and time again on the forums, on the Facebook group, you know, people saying, how do you get close? How do you get so close with your shots? I mean, I've only been playing a few weeks and I've sort of got this one down already. I would have thought another 6 months and I'll be dropping more shots than missing. So yeah, that's just a technique that I've been using that I'm finding really helpful. So it's basically just getting each shot to look the same, getting this shot view to look the same with the Bigfoot each time, playing with the Bigfoot wherever possible, and getting the shot view to look exactly the same. So if it's downhill, you tend to get a shorter bounce, so then you need less backspin to get it looking the same. If it's uphill, you tend to get a longer bounce, so you need more backspin to get it to look the same. But just find the position that works, where you get a nice rollout. And I find it at round about 2 rings from the pin. So 1.6 in headwind, 2.1, 2.2 in tailwind, and 1.9 in headwind, and then get the ball guide, the shot view, to look like it's going to end 1.5 rings from the first bounce. So yeah, hope that helps. Hope it helps you to dial in. And if you don't mind, hit subscribe, hit like. See you on the next video. Thank you.